Hi, I'm James Michael Angelo. I'm a comic and a real estate agent. I talk to real New York celebrities and real New York brokers, and I get the real New York stories. This is What's Your Deal? Today, my guests are fashion icon Patricia Field and mega broker Leonard Steinberg. I made him blush once because he's adorable as well.
Yeah.
But Scooter's, I mean, if it weren't for Scooter, my show wouldn't be happening. He really has been instrumental in this whole show happening. So
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
he really
good.
has.
Very.
He really has.
He's modest.
So he is modest.
Yeah.
So I want to start off just with a couple of quick questions
Sure.
about Sex and the City. But I've always been curious.
What's Sex and the City?
Exactly, I know. I thought we'd bring it up because it's something really underground and it's bubbling and no one quite knows about
Sounds
it.
familiar.
I've always wondered, always been curious, when was the moment that you understood the magnitude of influence that you had and the clothes had at changing the way women dress? When was that moment?
It's very difficult to put it in a moment. It kind of grew. It kind of got bigger and bigger. It was never anything intended by me. It wasn't a strategy or anything like that. I was just enjoying myself, working clothes on these actresses, and I wasn't getting too much interference.
So the influence really, it came from all four of the girls.
It did, it really did. In different degrees, and they're all four different girls with four different approaches to their lives. And that made it interesting, actually.
So where does as a stylist and a designer, where does your emotional connection to the character and the scene end? And then where does the character's emotion really begin? What's that line where you say, yes, that's it?
Well, that's a very good question because that's a very important element in my type of work. You know, you have a few elements in film or TV, you know, in storytelling. You know, you have a script, which is the story. And then you have the actors who are the characters. And it's that the actor is like a real human being. The character, we make the character. So it's really important to understand the actor. We owe it to the actor to make them feel comfortable and feel the character. That's my job.
Today, when you go home, where is Patricia Field in her story? Where you live tells your story. Where are you in your story? When you walk in the door, what do I see and what makes you happy?
When I moved down to the Bowery, which was on the ground, and then, I don't know, I moved out, and I knew about this a complex down on the Lower East Side called Seward Park. So I knew I'm going to move from the huge space to the hotel suite in the sky. And I defined it: terrace, height, one bedroom apartment, fine. He showed me 3. I said, I'll take that one.
That's where you are in your life. That's where you are in your story. You're in your story of breathe, expansion, and joy. And you have that perspective.
Well, mathematics, it helped.
What I mean, the change in this neighborhood and what you have seen, and the insight. Listen, I work with buyers and sellers every day, and what I tell people are always like, well, where's the next neighborhood, and what's my return going to be, and how can I turn this space into something that when I resell, it's going to be worth bop bop bop.
Yeah.
So coming from A Street, buying on Bowery. Ripping out the ceiling and the floor, having the parties in the backyard, which, by the way, I'm really angry that I missed.
Yeah, they were great parties, inside, outside.
And then buying the next door for the retail at the right time. And that was the birth of the gallery Art Fashion.
Yes, fast forward to the Art Fashion. I've always been with artists and creative people. It's just part of the fiber. And what happened was I was in my shop and I was realizing through my clients, people were saying, this is the only place I could come there's something interesting, something unexpected. And then I was getting a flashback. And we had Scooter LaForge, his work was in the store. His painted shirts and t-shirts. Stud Muffin Kyle, he used to work in the store and he was studying. So there was a little nucleus group of artists. And I thought, okay, I'm going to sell this place, and what am I going to do? I can't sit around. So that's where the idea of the art fashion gallery came in. And I represent about 9, 10 artists. I have a gallery on the Lower East Side on East Broadway. It's an online gallery as well as a virtual real gallery, or whatever they call it. And so that's what I'm doing these days.
I can't tell you how grateful I am that you came here today.
Oh, this was fun to talk to you. Before we met, I mean, I did get a vibe from you over the phone and on the emails, but now that we've met, I see you're one of my kind.
Oh, yes. That's the greatest compliment I could get. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No, it is an incredible honor to have you here as one of the leading brokers and as the Compass Chief Evangelist, which I love that that's your title.
Praise be.
Yeah. You're really leading the way in a lot of conversations. First of all, what's the number one reason why you're in real estate?
The number one reason I'm in real estate, failing at every other career. That would do it. No, actually, to be perfectly blunt, I enjoy working with people. I like problem solving, and I love aesthetics, and real estate combines all of those.
I love that. It's a great segue. I believe that where you live tells your story. It's the whole concept for this show. I'm a storyteller by nature with an artistic background, and when I came into real estate, I really see that. For my life, I live my story where I live. And what I've noticed is, and what I really notice in you, is the way to connect with people, charm, knowledge, and to not take yourself so seriously. And you have a great humor about you. And with a background in comedy, I really value that. And I think it's really important. Can you speak to those traits?
Well, the alternative to laughing is crying. I choose laughter instead. And I think one attribute that I do have that I think is critically important to any real estate career is a good fake British accent. And mine is a South African accent, so you throw that into the mix and it really works well.
Is it fake?
It is completely fake.
Great. So tell me a bit about this property, 347 Bowery.
An amazing property because it's a very unique little perch. It's a southwest corner that overlooks all of NoHo. And what's remarkable about it is you have this beautiful light all day long, all year round, because you're on a southwest corner. But as importantly, the views are enormous and very unexpected. And they're a view corridor that is of a human scale. So everything about this building is very humanly scaled, and I think in a city like New York, that has tremendous value.
At this time in the real estate market in 2019, what's one piece of advice you can give me?
I think every agent starting out should get very deeply entrenched into real estate and all aspects of it. Understanding the markets, understanding architecture, understanding design, and by doing so you become passionate about what you're doing, and when you're passionate about what you're doing, people are attracted to you.
I love that. Simple, but powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate this.
Thanks for having us.
Honored to have you here.
Welcome here.
I'd like to thank my guests today, Patricia Field and Leonard Steinberg. For more information on art, fashion, and all of the artists that Pat champions, you can visit patriciafield.com. And for more information on 347 Bowery and any property in New York, you can email me at james.angelo@compass.com. I want to thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on What's Your Deal?